SeoulPodcast production.
This week's episode of the Seoul Podcast is brought to you by the city of Gumcheong. Contains animal nudity.
This is the Seoul Podcast, your weekly guide to living in Seoul with news, views, and other ways to waste your time. This week we have the original Seoul survivor, Karl Mamer, with topics such as returning home and reverse culture shock, how to send your money back home, navigating Narita Airport in Tokyo, food you thought you missed but really didn't, renewing your alcoholic clown car driver's license, overseas English fines, and this past few months' news. I'm King Sejong, reminding you that Korea has 4 seasons, and we're working on our 5th. And here are your hosts, Jennifer Young and Joe McPherson.
And welcome to the Seoul Podcast. This is Joe.
This is Jennifer.
And this is special guest Karl.
Hey, special guest Karl from
Our
all the
favorite
way
special guest,
all the way in Canada.
I'm in Kingsville, Ontario.
Kingsville.
But as far south in Canada as you can possibly get. And
is
there's
that
still
part
snow.
that's like way down, actually in America, but they just call it Canada?
Yeah, if you kind of, it's just sort of touching Northern California. So they always like to call it, well, we're the banana belt of Canada. But it's
okay.
I don't know, it's almost friggin' April and there's still snow on the ground. This ain't
my
no
God.
banana belt.
Just like Jamaica.
So Joe, this is the inaugural.
This is the inaugural
episode?
Seoul Podcast episode. If you could,
Formerly Soul Survivors.
Formerly Soul Survivors. We've kind of
Right.
Karl's here to help pass the torch along and hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Are you going to be doing this weekly, or what's going to be your schedule?
We're going to try to do it weekly. I have some people planned. We have some shows planned. I'm trying to get some interviews set up.
Yeah,
We'll see how it
basically
goes.
they just have to bend to our will. You know.
Well, now you're kind of doing this more. This is a total Skype production. This isn't us sitting around a table in Starbucks anymore.
Yeah, we're not sitting around in an undisclosed Starbucks. Now we're in more undisclosed locations, so it's harder to find us.
Ooh,
Exactly.
the anonymity of the internet. Except that I think the website has our names, but whatever.
Oops. Forgot about that. That's my stalkers.
Yeah.
What, you don't have any?
Yeah, I don't think I do.
No, I don't. Although one email address, I keep getting emails from men in Japan who think I'm a Japanese woman.
That also female named Karl.
And how could that happen?
I don't know. Somebody has somehow found this email and probably posted it up on some Companions Wanted site, but it's not my main email. It's kind of a little throwaway email I do for my various things. So no
The one that
bother.
you answer to Africans that need you to help them transfer funds.
That's exactly the one. Yes.
Well, so
I loved that article. We have to link that article in the show notes because that was the funniest thing. I was almost peeing myself reading how you reel them in over. It sounded like months that you would just have them waiting with bated breath for you to arrive in Africa.
Let me plug the website right now.
Okay, do that.
www.yrad.com. yrad.com.
Yes.
Remember our final show, I gave the URL for my new little conspiracy skeptic. So if you just ditch the CS, just go right to the root, www.yrad.com.
And I've actually listened to the Conspiracy Skeptic. That's a pretty good podcast too.
I still haven't had time.
I almost have a new one out. Yeah, they've been coming sort of slow with moving and etc. So, but Woody Bank, they keep track of how much you're actually transferring. So I was always dealing with this one woman, and she was very good and efficient and everything. And then one day I went in and I got this man, and immediately I'm like, oh, this is going to be trouble. And I don't know. And then the guy starts sort of giving me this business about how, you're only allowed to move so much out per year. And I'm like, like 10 million won. Yeah, and I'm like, well, no, that's not true. And I show him all my employment pay stubs, right? And what I can prove I have earned is far more than what I'm moving out of the country. Now, you are allowed to move out exactly as much as you can prove you've earned. So if you've earned $20,000, you can move $20,000 out. So anyway, so I'm like, no, there's no such law. I'm trying to tell him about how to do his job, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, look, let's look at it this way. Let's say I've been in Korea for 5 years and I've saved my money, and my goal was to get enough for that, to get an apartment. You have to put like $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 down for an apartment. Okay, so that was my goal. I'm saving all my money. I don't intend to leave. All right, but at the last moment, I decide, well, something's come up, and now I have to move home. All right.
Yeah.
So, my intent was to stay, but now I cannot stay. So I have to move home. So I have to move all of my money home. Why would that be banned, given I can prove I have legally earned this money in Korea? And he's like, yeah, that does sound stupid, doesn't it? So he makes some calls.
Oh, he figured it out that it was stupid.
Well, when I first came, it was the rule. Like, I think it was maybe $10,000 a year or $6,000 a year. I don't know, something.
I was 10 when I first came.
Yeah.
But for sort of foreign residents, if you have like an E2 visa, you are allowed to move, as much as you earned out of the country. So he makes some calls, and then he realizes, oh yeah, okay, I'm wrong, and then I got my money transferred out. But I guess last year it was like 821 to the Canadian dollar. Lower numbers are better when you're moving away.
Yeah.
And then this year it was like 950. So it was really taken in the pants. But now people are saying it's like even money. The Canadian dollar is like even money. It's like, 1 Canadian dollar is 1,000 won. So there's not that little psychological premium.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. So if you're in Korea, stay for a while, or move your money out in blocks. Don't wait till the last moment when things may be bad for you. That's my advice.
I think that's just good advice anyway. Never leave it to the last minute in Korea, because you never know what kind of crazy laws they'll pull out of their butts.
Exactly. And then flying out was fun too. All right. So my E2 visa expired like on the Friday, but I wanted to fly out on the weekend or the Monday. All right. So you can go to the website, and you can, if you email them a sort of a digital picture of your ticket, you can get a temporary extension up to like 30 days, I think. So I go to the Korean website, I, fill out all the stuff and, upload my sort of digital photo of my ticket, apply for it. And then the next day it's approved. And there's a document you have to sort of print out and, and show immigration, upon exiting. All right. So I do all that. Fine. Okay. So then I go to the airline desk, and and I hand them over all my stuff, and she's looking at my alien resident card, and she's like, oh, your visa's expired, expired a few days ago. You have to go to immigration and get a stamp in your passport. So I show her the piece of paper, and I'm like, I don't think I have to, because I got this. What's this for? She's like, no, you have to go get a stamp. I'm like, all right. So I had lots of time. So I go to immigration and I show the lady, I told her the airline desk sent me here, blah, blah, blah. And she looks at my paper I printed out from the immigration website. And she's kind of really testy. She's like, why are you here? You got this. You don't need to come here for this. You've got this paper. And I'm like, look, the airline desk sent me here. Can you just write them a note and let them know, I don't need anything? She's like, all right. So she writes something out in Korean and stamps it. And I bring it back to the airline desk. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to educate this woman too. Like the bank guy. And I'm like, look, you may encounter this in future. If people, they can extend online and then are going to get this document. And this document lets them show it to the exit customs and it's okay. All right. Do you understand? And she's like, I don't know. It's just going over her head like, but whatever. I'm getting the hell out of this godforsaken country. Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, I was just going to say, like, my recent trip was one of the first times I've not run into trouble with immigration on the way out.
Oh, wow.
Oh, really? Okay. What happened?
Yeah, I know that office in the airport very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened to you before trying to exit?
It's usually stuff about slightly overstayed the visa or something like that. I'm trying to get a new visa or renew a visa, and I'm maybe like a day late or something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I switched schools, and my new school didn't want me to use the month that they did not tell me I was going to have before I started. They didn't want to use that time on the visa, so they waited until like the day before I was supposed to start to send me to Japan, and then I was a month out of status, and then the guy at immigration, he showed how important he was, yelling at me for a good long while.
That's sort of what happened to me too, and it happened to me twice.
Oh, jeez.
So immigration really didn't like me for a while.
Yeah.
This time they like me, but
yeah, the guy told me that if it happened again, I would be barred from reentry.
Ooh.
Yeah. But I was like a month out of status, and I think like it is within their prerogative to charge you 100,000 won a day.
Yeah.
So I'll take getting yelled at over a 3 million won fine for my school being a bunch of retards.
Well, my last one was was with the school which must not be named. They I quit before my visa had expired, and they would not release me from my visa so I could work at my other job. So we called immigration and said, well, when they won't let him off the job, so what does he need to do? And they say, oh, wait till the visa expires and we'll take care of it. So I wait till the visa expires, and they say, he's supposed to be already out of the country by now.
Yeah, so they expired.
Told us to wait.
Yeah, they voided the visa without telling you because they didn't want to release you, but they didn't want to still have you on their books.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I guess just the perfect end to the perfect job.
Yeah, that's
like my exit. Just a little taste of Korea before I leave.
One last chance to remember why you're leaving.
Yeah. But, one of the things I did is, a flight back to Canada was $1,500, and one way, and school's
one way.
One way, yeah. School's got to pay for that, right? That's in the contract. Oh, the school. The school seemed rather surprised that they had to pay for my ticket out.
Right.
But I'm like, I sort of show in the contract, and they're like, oh, okay. They weren't sort of like, no, you're trying to rip us off, or they weren't trying to rip me off. It was more one of those things where, anything sort of different or special, that the foreign teacher needs. Sometimes your school's going to be like, really? What?
Yeah. But didn't they change owners?
Yeah, they change owners.
Yeah, so the last owner got the benefit of your 4 years of service, and this one got stuck with the bill.
Yeah, exactly, more or less. Yeah. So another one of my things where it's like, don't get hyper about these things right away. They're not necessarily trying to rip. I lost you for a moment there.
No, it's okay. Carl's connection is a little weak, so he might be dipping in and out.
I'm calling from Canada. So yeah.
You don't have the high-tech internet stuff there.
No. I'm out in I'm surrounded by fields of cows and wild turkeys.
Are you on dial-up?
No. Sort of broadband, but it's sort of a Wi-Fi broadband. There's a tower someplace.
Okay.
And yeah.
Every now and then a cow gets in the way of the signal.
Yeah. Let me put it this way, and this will sort of lock it in for Canadians. The nearest Tim Hortons is nowhere.
Wow, you're out of range of Tim Hortons. It's hardly even Canada.
It feels like you're in Korea.
Yeah. So anyway, so my ticket home was like 1,500. But again, when your school begins to seem surprised by these things, don't immediately approach it like they're trying to rip you off. Just first assume they're confused, and then lay out the rationale. I laid out the rationale. I'm like, look, I've been here 4 years. I've never gone back, to Canada. I'm not like you're bringing a teacher every year, flying one in, flying one out, right? Over 4 years, you've saved a lot of money, So
yeah,
even on that,
previous owners saved a lot of money.
Yeah. Don't even quibble about that. Other than this is standard in contracts. So I just sort of laid it all out. And they're like, oh, okay, all right. I've been good to them, and they're all usually good to me. So always good to me. But sometimes you have to explain things. So right. So anyway, but then I realized, well, for an extra $900, you can fly business class. So basically what I did is I booked a business class ticket and then got the school to pay me $1,500 and then coughed up the other $900 and that's how I flew home. So you get the lie flat seats and you get the mega entertainment thing and you get to.
I was wondering how that was like. Oh, because I just did my whole trip there and back
in economy.
Yes, in the center seat.
Oh.
The center seat.
Oh, Joe.
Both ways.
Oh, both ways. Who did you piss off?
Yeah, really. There was a survey once, and they surveyed airline passengers their seat preference. What seat do they like? And it was rather evenly split between window and aisle. But there was like 4% of people said they preferred the center seat. So yeah, exactly. So the airlines were just like, is it really 4%? But then they're like, sampling error. They just sort of wrote it off the sampling error. Like people don't know what they're filling out, and they just check a box. So that's probably that's probably the more likely.
Yeah, I'm starting to become more of an aisle guy than a window guy because I keep in mind more of my bathroom breaks.
Yeah, I was gonna say you always get stuck with the person sits in the window seat, not the window seat, the aisle seat, promptly takes their pills and knocks themselves out for 17 hours. Meanwhile, you've got to find some way to levitate yourself out to the aisle to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, that's how it was on my trip to America. I was stuck between two people who both fallen asleep through most of the trip.
Oh God. But you got to envy those kinds of people, though. That's a talent.
Yeah, I can't sleep on a plane.
I know.
Me either.
But when you get the lie flat seats, you can legitimately sleep. That was cool.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it was through Northwest. Northwest isn't quite the best in anything, but oh well, the price was right.
You got a direct flight?
No, actually, I fly Incheon to Tokyo, Narita, and then to Detroit, and then my family just picks me up in Detroit. No, but you get to cool your feet in the first class lounges, which is kind of cool. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
The Incheon one actually was much better than the one in Tokyo. The Incheon one, they had like little Subway sandwiches and free beverages. It's cool.
So you get like $5 worth of snacks for your 900 extra bucks.
Well, I'm also thinking, you get to sleep. Well, my rationale too is I've been there 4 years and I've never taken a real vacation.
Oh wow.
Your hotel stays.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than my little hotel stays, I've never gone anywhere because that's exactly where I want to be. Oddly enough, I want to be in Seoul, and that someone's paying me to be in Seoul. Well, that's okay. So I really had no desire to go to Thailand or something like that, and so I'm like, well, whatever. Here's my vacation. Goodbye. Sleeping on a plane.
Well, there is a reason. I mean, that Incheon has been for 3 years voted the best airport in the world, and I've noticed that big time on my trips. Just compared to Narita, Dallas, O'Hare, and Atlanta.
Yeah,
Right.
it is really easy to navigate around. O'Hare is evil. That is the experience of what I don't know, like the 15th level of hell. Just the absolute worst it can be.
I was calling it the 7.5 level of hell, but
it's
okay.
way worse than that.
Okay.
My favorite opening sentence to any book, Douglas Adams' book, I think the first Dirk Gently book, he's got a line something like, "It's no coincidence that no language on earth has ever coined the phrase as pretty as an airport." Yeah, there's no, with maybe the exception of Vancouver Airport, there is no way you can make an airport pretty.
I don't know, but Incheon, just the way there are lots of little things about Incheon. I was thinking, wow, this is one thing that Koreans really got right, right off the bat.
Except the airline staff, when you at check-in, they are without a clue.
Yeah, but that's the airline's fault. That's not the airport's
That's the
fault.
airline.
That's true.
I can go into that. I will go into that too. Well, my experience is, Incheon has always been so fast. Go through security, going through immigration.
Yeah.
If there's no glitch in immigration, which is not the airport's fault, it's immigration's fault, or usually my fault, really. You get through, you slam right into the duty free.
Yeah, of course.
And now I would say that the duty free shopping in Incheon is not as big as other places.
Right.
No.
You got your typical perfumes and stuff, and your cigarettes. You got some Korean liqueurs, but there's not much Korean stuff there. That makes it more unique than other places. You have your usual knickknacks you would find over in Insadong.
Yeah.
Right.
At 3 times the price.
Yeah.
Yeah. So going out there.
Although that is the first place that I saw cases of soju juice boxes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They actually put them in a nice case format for easily
case.
transforming.
That's good.
Yeah. So Canada, I forgot how fluffy dryers make everything.
Oh.
I've been because I'm big into the hankies, right?
Yeah.
Environmental, and now I throw the hankies in the dryer. I pull them out. Oh, it's like putting a cloud on your nose. It's so fluffy. I'm like, oh my god. And you know how when you wash clothes there, it's like, okay, I'm not going to be able to wear that for a day or two, because it takes time to dry, especially in winter time. Things can take a long time to dry.
Yeah, I'm
I
still
don't
waiting
know
for
why.
16.
Yeah. But now I'm just like, oh my god, I can wear this 2 hours later if I want. I forgot how nice the dryer was.
So we're dealing with that reverse culture shock, huh?
Exactly. Yeah, some of the reverse culture shock. Oh man.
Have you
What are some of the things?
Really, talked about somebody?
Which is today's topic, by the way.
Today's
topic, reverse culture shock.
Well, I've gone, my cable in Korea is sort of winnowed down to basically one English channel, which was, the Discovery Channel. And I'm like, oh god. And then I come home and I was crashing at my brother's. And my brother's got, the digital cable, 200 channels. And you know what? There's nothing on.
There isn't anything on.
There's nothing.
I noticed that too.
I've gone from one channel to 200, and I still can't find a damn thing to watch.
Oh man. Yeah. Oh, I noticed. Man, I went through the biggest reverse culture shock when I went back last week.
Right.
First thing. I gotta go through my little trip. First thing was Narita Airport.
Okay.
Is the most confusing airport I've ever been to.
Oh,
it is.
Yeah.
totally non-intuitive. In fact, when I got there, I followed. There were two signs. One that said domestic transfers, and the other one said international transfers.
All right.
Well, since I'm going to a country other than Japan next, I went to the international transfer.
That would make sense.
And go down there, and security guy say, no, you have to go through immigration.
Really?
Okay. So I go through immigration, and I'm there, and I'm like, now what?
Okay.
So I had to go up to information and show them my boarding pass and go, like, where am I supposed to go? Oh no, I take that back. I went to I wanted to check some liquor in to the check-in desk in my bag. I put it in my bag because that's another reason the security guys were flipping out that I brought liquor into the airport, which is a new it's sort of a new thing. Everyone remembers that. Remember, you cannot buy anything liquid until you're going to your final destination. If you buy something in Korea and you're transferring somewhere else, don't buy it in Korea. You gotta either check it in with your bags or just wait till your second to last airport before you buy anything. So that's sort of part of the new rules. So I checked that in, and then they told me what gate I'm supposed to go to, and they said, it's in Terminal 1. I'm in Terminal 2. How do I get to Terminal 1? So I go to information. How do you get to Terminal 1? Oh, you just take down this elevator down to the first floor, then go down to the bus stops, and you look for bus stop number 18. Nowhere in the airport I have seen this written down, and I've had a total layover of 12 hours. Enough time to look where it's written down. It's not written down anywhere. You have to go. Okay, I take that back. It is written down in one of the brochures you can find in the airport. If you open up the brochure, you can find where the bus stop is to go to the other terminal.
Right.
That's almost as good as the posted map.
Yeah. Now, the trick to find what terminal you're supposed to go to is not dependent on whether you have an international or domestic flight, like you would think. It depends on the airline that you're flying. But you don't know which terminal your airline is at unless you grab the brochure, because it doesn't tell you anywhere else.
God.
So, yeah, that killed me on the way back, too.
Or you got to look at the boards, too, but then it's like but you
look at the boards and
number of flights.
Yeah, and I say, my airline is not there. Oh, gosh, I think I'm in the wrong terminal. How do I know for sure? But besides that, though, I would say Narita had the best shopping of all the other airports.
Surprise.
Oh, really?
I bet Singapore's airports got really good shopping, too.
Oh, I bet they
Or Hong Kong.
did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Hong Kong's, man. That's a nice airport.
I'll bet you that's real. I haven't been there. But I would tell you some tips is that Terminal 2 has the Yahoo Internet Cafe, which has free internet access.
Oh,
but
okay.
Terminal 1 has all the best stuff. Terminal 1 has the oxygen bar, which I tried.
There's showers there, too.
There's showers, but they also have the massage parlor.
Oh, okay.
And that got me a good 20-minute foot rub. Oh.
Almayo.
Oh. It was 2,000 yen, so basically $20 for 20 minutes.
Wow, that's not bad.
No, and you can even get like back rubs and stuff for $20 20 minutes, and they're really good. Really good. Very professional, very nice. I think I was supposed to tip them, and I didn't.
Oh, yeah, you're used to that.
So I didn't.
No tipping.
I know, so I didn't go back for more.
Uh-oh.
Oh, but between that and the oxygen bar and the massage parlor are next to each other, so I did a two for. Then I went and got a beer. Oh, and also remember, don't drink before going to the massage parlor because if you're drunk, they won't take you.
Oh, okay.
So you got to remember that. Now that would suck too because it'd be in the middle of a massage and then you get a beer piss coming on and you're like, oh,
okay.
But I didn't do that, but I'm sure that would happen. Which is another reason. I thought I just don't drink when I'm flying.
That's a good idea.
For many reasons. One thing, people don't like a drunk person. The other thing, I don't want people to smell alcohol on me.
Yeah.
Because you can really smell it on people in an airplane. And third, yes, I'm in the center seat. Not a good idea to drink on the center seat on a 12-hour flight.
Well, when you fly business class, you get free champagne.
Oh,
That was okay.
Yeah, but you're not in the center seat in business class.
There
You just
is
sit-
no center seat.
You're on your lazy boy
Yeah.
over there.
You got your little entertainment pod. You're in a pod.
Oh. Wow. Yeah. Anne's dad, my stepfather, works for
Right.
Delta. So we used to get for $500, Steve and I could fly from Narita to home and back for $500 for the two of us, and it was usually business elite, which is
Wow.
you walk on, you get your champagne, you've got your lazy boy
Right.
that stretches out, and they wear something along the lines of a tux, maybe like 1 degree more casual than that. The full white linen service for the meals and everything. Oh, it was really nice.
God.
Actual utensils and dishes.
Right, yes. Not a plastic
I
knife.
flew
Yeah.
first class in the 80s when I went traveling with my grandparents because they're rich. But yeah, I remember way back then I used to do that. Now, I did notice the big change because I went from Incheon to Tokyo on Asiana, which is a
Okay.
Korean airline.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the rest of the way was on American. You could totally see the difference
Yeah, in service.
in service. Asiana is always like, "Oh, sir, well, how can I help you? How can? Do you need anything?"
Exactly.
Go into American line, sir. Sit down.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, sir. Put on your seatbelt. Sit down.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're also not so easy on the eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. They're
Yeah,
hired
because
for
in
their
America,
ability.
they can't fire you for no longer being young and beautiful.
Yeah,
in
but
Korea,
the
they
others-
can.
You would think they may be able to fire them for just being rude.
Yeah, true. Well, no, they're unionized, so
Yeah.
Sir, sit down.
yeah.
No, sir, you cannot have that now. Turn off your electronic now.
Yeah, they're pretty full of their power.
Yeah. It's just like, wow, get back to America. And it just didn't stop. Again, to Dallas and, 12, 13 hours of flying, I'm exhausted. My first time back in the U.S. of in 4 years.
Wow.
Welcome home, Joe.
Joe.
I go to the immigration guy,
Okay.
and he's just this attitude, just like little
Really?
Roscoe P. Colt, little redneck guy.
Which airport?
well,
Which
big-
airport?
This is Dallas, and he's
Oh,
like,
Dallas,
he's just
sorry.
like, yeah, the way he acted was just so full of himself.
No,
You know,
right.
like those guys on Cops that are always trying to show off more testosterone than the other ones. So I got my little overdone Barney Fife guy, mall, just one step up from a mall cop,
Right. Yeah.
giving me flack on these questions.
For what?
It's like what have you been doing in Korea? Living there. Why? What are you doing?
Teaching.
I teach English.
Teach English
And he goes-
and teach people how to make bombs. They can bring
Yeah,
all
and
the
I
way to
go-
the U.S.
Then he mumbles something on his breath. He goes, in the U.S. Excuse me, could you say that again? He goes like this. What are you planning to leave in the U.S.? What does that mean? Like, am I leaving a what? It's like a will and testament? Am I what I'm supposed to leave behind? I've been traveling for 12 hours. I really got a poo bad. I'm going to leave one of those behind. I don't know what do you want me to tell you? I was like, gifts. And then he sighs again.
What?
What kind of gifts? A plate. He just rolls his eyes and just lets me go. So, welcome back to America.
You didn't get. Where was that? Was that the first line of immigration, or is that where they check you the second time as you try to get out?
No, that's the first one. It's the first one, and then you had. There's a first one to check your passport, and another one to go through customs.
Yeah.
They were going around with little beagles sniffing people's bags.
Yeah.
Um,
They didn't want to look at your digital camera for child porn or anything like that.
nah, not this time.
Yeah, not this time for me. Last time that's what they did to me, but
Seriously?
but I guess yeah. Well, I guess at that
You just
point
have that look.
Korea was yeah. Well, single white male flying alone coming from Asia. Hey, what would I be doing in
Oh, I
Asia?
did that. On my first flight to Korea, I was patted down on every single stop, but I think that was because I had a one-way ticket. One-way international.
Yeah, I got the full wanding at Incheon myself.
Yeah, the wanding's fine, but I got patted down way back then. Yeah, but Dallas, when I get into Dallas, it was just, I mean, for one thing, I could blend in with everyone. I'm skinny.
Right. So maybe you
Relatively.
Yeah, especially in Dallas.
Yeah. Oh, that was great. And even I said, okay, what am I going to eat? I go to Flood Records.
Yeah, I'm aware of it.
Yeah, and I go over there, and I'm just so dazed. Yeah. I'm so dazed, I got one of their triple cheeseburgers or something like that, and the guy says something, I hear something like $5.16, so I put down $6, and he looks at it, slams the money back down on the counter, and goes, sir, what is this? I said $9.16. I thought I heard $5.16. So I gave him more money. And it's just, it's just like not one nice person when I came back.
Really? Oh man.
Yeah, but I'm just whining. But I'm just one thing I've just noticed about being back in America. I'm not sure how Canada is, but everyone talks a lot more militaristically.
Really?
Really?
They use a lot of sirs, and they use a lot of like words you hear people say on cops.
Well, I'm from Louisiana, so that's just normal. That's just how we talk.
Yeah, it's just new to me. This total impersonal way of talking to people. I don't know.
What
I'm pinpoint it.
What I'm finding interesting is when I talk to people, like at Starbucks or whatever, that when they talk back to me, I'm getting useful information I can understand. I'm not like, okay, I can hear that word, so many minutes. I have to wait so many minutes. Is that what she's saying to me? Now, is she saying to me, I can get my coffee over there? Is that what she's saying to me? Yeah, it's just suddenly like, I know exactly what you're saying. I comprehend. This is wonderful.
I think I'm just the opposite. I'm like, I can understand what you're saying. I can't tune you out.
Yeah.
It's the other side of the coin. Yeah. But I have heard people speaking Korean in the Windsor Starbucks a couple times.
Oh, no. Yeah, I went to a part of the country. No, we didn't do that. They don't have any Koreans. Nonetheless, my first night back in Atlanta, my brother and his girlfriend took me out to a Korean restaurant.
Really?
That was too much fun.
Oh, that's funny.
I totally freaked that guy out walking in because we're like, my brother Ben wanted to go to this restaurant that only the locals went to. Only the Koreans would go to. In fact, I don't think there's even any English on the sign. So we go in and Ben had said he's been trying all the time to go into one of those private rooms, but the guy always acts like he doesn't understand him. So we walk in. Yeah, you had to go in to know the secret code. So we walk in, and Ben tries that again. I see the guy trying to stall him, trying to get him to sit at a table. So I just say something like, no, 저기 앉으세요. 저기 앉고 싶어요. And he looks at me and just stops. Okay. He guides us into there, and everything was fine after that.
What, did you have to take your shoes off in that room?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
It's America.
Yeah. Okay. I thought maybe it was because he was afraid they wouldn't understand shoe etiquette or something like that,
No, just
maybe. Yeah.
Whiteys don't get the private room. We're not that good.
Yeah, it was good there.
And Koreans wonder, why isn't Korean food more popular in North America?
Yeah, when all the restaurants, it just says 식당 in Hangul. And it doesn't have any English anywhere to be seen.
When you're a whitey and you walk into a Korean restaurant, in Toronto, and you're just greeted with suspicious looks, like, what are you doing here? What trouble are you going to cause us?
That's true.
Yeah.
And before I came to Korea in Atlanta, I just remember the service was horrible. But back then, I didn't know you're supposed to go Yogi-o when you needed a waiter.
Yeah.
I was sitting there
you had to
waiting the
wait for
time.
them to notice you.
Yeah, I was sitting there waiting for the waiter the whole time. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know that.
And the guy's probably over there going, man, what is taking that stupid guy so long to call me over?
Yeah, but that's the thing. Maybe that's why it's not so popular right now, is that the restaurants can be so intimidating to people. It's not the food, it's the service. Yeah. It's intimidating.
Yeah.
And the signs, the signs are just not that inviting. I mean, I mean, you have restaurants called Urijip.
Yeah.
Our house, not
Right.
your house.
Yeah.
It's for us and our kind. Because we know Uri, our in Korean, is code for Korean,
Yes.
not outsiders. That's always the code. It's the same as like maybe in America call something All American.
Oh, okay.
It's called All American. In Korea, it's Uri.
You know, I caught a news article in the Korean news about Korean English news about some Japanese restaurant in Manhattan that's serving Korean food.
Yeah, I
And-
read that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's spreading for a while. That started in Japan, and then they decided to franchise out of Japan. And yeah,
Right.
they call themselves. Yeah, they just changed all the names to Japanese names, and they're like in New Jersey, New York.
Yeah. But the news reporter has said something like, like 75% of the items are Korean. And so I went online and I looked at their online menu, and there's like 5 Korean items. I mean, unless Koreans are trying to lay claim to rice. As
Hey,
Korean.
it was invented here.
Of course. But so I emailed the reporter and I'm like, dude,
Can you count?
like 20%, maybe at best 20% of the items are Korean, not 50 to 75% as you claim in your article. I don't know. I'm just like,
Did he respond?
no. I'm sure he got more flame mail than me.
Yeah. Okay. I respond to my emails. Yes.
Man. But I've been eating my way through Canadian cuisine here. It's been wonderful.
And what have you? Okay. How many days before the first poutine?
Well, actually, I'm not a big fan of poutine, but
Okay. Canadian bacon with maple syrup.
yeah. Well, I went to Taco Bell. Well, that's not quite Canadian, but whatever.
Canadian Taco Bell.
Yeah, I went to Taco Bell.
Run for the other border.
Yes. And I went to Harvey's. That's a hamburger place. Harvey's.
Okay.
There a couple times, yeah. And for people who've been away for a while, who may have had the unfortunate experience of going to Harvey's when they switched to their crispy fries, they've gone back to their normal fries. They used to have these wonderful fries, and then it was like the new Coke. They decided, hey, let's fix what's not broken, and they introduced these crispy fries. Were just awful, but they've gone back to their normal fries, so that's good.
Yeah. Fries and crispy just don't go together. Those are called shoestrings.
Exactly.
Fries should be like Wendy's fries are the best.
Yeah. Well,
Really?
Harvey's used to sell these. They were like the fresh cut, with still the potato skins still on them,
Yeah, nice.
and that's where the fries. But I haven't been to Swiss Chalet yet, which is like kind of like a chicken.
Oh, I've been to Swiss Chalet when I lived in upstate New York.
Oh, do they have
Yeah.
that there? Ah, that's like a religion in Canada. Swiss Chalet, roasted chicken fries.
Yeah.
That sort of
Yeah.
stuff.
Like that. Yeah.
Yeah, famous for their dipping sauce. But yeah. Oh, and cookies. I've been eating for Canadians peak friends and windmill cookies. I don't know if any Canadians out there know what those are, but those were good.
If you really get into that.
Yeah. Other things, it's like hot dogs, top slice buns.
You could have gotten
relish.
Steph hot dogs here. I don't know why you think you were missing anything.
Oh, Steph hot dogs were terrible.
Stuffed hot dog, stuffed tofu.
Steph dog. No, Steph dog. Yeah.
Oh, Steph dog.
Yeah.
Steph dog.
Yeah.
Well, how did you feel? I mean, okay, you're eating food that you've missed for years. How did you feel eating it again?
Prices are really cheap here now. I was surprised how, I guess with the Canadian dollar being so strong, especially in the food, because we import a lot of our fruits and vegetables from the States in winter time, so it's made a lot of things really cheap here. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That would make sense because our dollar is so weak right now.
Yeah.
Well, I've noticed, I mean, when I went back and I ate all these foods that I missed, I was kind of like, okay, I did it. I don't remember why I was so missing it so much.
Because you can't get it. That's all it is. You can't
All it
get
is.
it, so you're like, I must have it. And then you get
Yeah.
it, and you're like, this is like stuff that I
Okay.
wouldn't really go out of my way to eat when I live here. Why have I
Yeah.
been dreaming about it for a year?
No, these
Yeah.
are things I go out of my way for. Harvey's Hamburgers? Taco Bell?
No, seriously, last time I went home, I went to Piccadilly. I was like, ooh, Piccadilly.
I'm looking at the pictures of the food I ate during vacation.
A little bit of Korean culture that you took back home with you. Photograph
I had.
meals.
I'm looking at my final night. My final night was like I had a grilled steak at home. Had a grilled steak with cheese grits. That was good. The one thing I really enjoyed having back. I know, it's so bad. The one thing I really enjoyed when I had back was breakfast. I didn't know I'd really miss breakfast that much, but the one thing I remember so fondly is biscuits and sausage.
Yeah.
Coming back.
Biscuits and gravy. Oh my god.
And I had biscuits and gravy too. Yes.
Oh man,
that was amazing.
For Easter, my mom, she made bacon, sausage, scrambled eggs, hot cross buns. Do you have hot cross buns down in the south?
Yeah,
it's famous. We can get them, but it seems like it's famous everywhere but America for Easter.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh man, butter tarts. Oh, which is like pecan pie, but in tart size without the pecans.
So just Caro syrup in a tart shell?
Raisins, yeah.
Okay.
Raisins, brown sugar, yeah, the Caro syrup or the corn syrup or whatever, yeah. And then a tart shell. Yeah, that's good. Oh man.
Well, I had some Big Bob Gibson's barbecue. Really missed that, but that's still okay. And of course, Jennifer might know this. I had some Zapp's potato chips.
Zaps.
Those are really good. I'm going to have to get those delivered.
Email me. I'll hunt around on this area.
Oh, Zapp's?
Yeah,
They're
Zapp's, yeah.
very regional. I don't know, unless they've spread like Krispy Kreme. I don't know.
Same as the Dingbat? Zapp's Dingbats?
I don't know. No, I don't think
Zaps
so.
are just different flavors of potato chips.
No.
Yeah, they're kettle cooked and peanut oil.
Yeah. Oh, that'll add calories.
Well, I mean, but they're known for having really some innovative flavors.
You got to get yourself a base connection, Joe, because I'm sure they sell them on base.
You think they sell Zaps on base?
So,
They would have to, especially because with most
God,
of the
how
food,
many
geared-
soldiers are from the South? Come on, they have to.
Exactly.
Yeah,
be a revolt.
maybe so.
Yeah, you couldn't get a Southerner to join the army. That's like, no honey mustard? No honey mustard?
Oh, come on.
And I also had a good 2 dozen of raw oysters
Ooh.
on the hush. But you know what? They weren't as good as Korean oysters, I thought.
Korean oysters are good, I have to say.
Yeah, they're smaller, but I really the big fat ones over at Winsel's Oyster Bar, they look great. And they give you the horseradish and everything to mix together, and I ate those and they're just bland.
You just gotta bring your
Watery.
sauce with you to an oyster restaurant in Korea.
Yeah, that's what it is. Because that's the only thing.
Korea. They won't bat an eyelash when you pull out your own sauce.
That is true. That is true.
I've got a tip for people who might be not necessarily lifers in Korea, but long-termers in Korea about your driver's license.
Okay, because I'm having trouble. I had trouble with that on my trip.
Yeah. All right. Well, now, this is for Ontario people. I don't know the rest of Canada. But if your driver's license, if it's expired for less than 1 year, you can go back and get your driver's license, no problem. Over a year, up to 10 years, you have to do the written test and 2 road tests.
Two? My goodness.
2. Yeah, they've introduced this graduated licensing where it's like, you one stage and then another stage. And so, but under 10 years, then there's no waiting times. You can just take the tests one after each other and, get your license right away. But if you let it go for more than 10 years, then you're back to the graduated licensing where you get one license and then you have to wait like 8 months and then you get another license and you have to wait another 8 months. It takes basically 20 months to get your complete full license under the graduated system. If you've let your license expire for more than 10 years.
And I will give the tip that you don't have to be there to renew your license, at least like in Louisiana. You can get a pictureless license. that you just have to
Right.
keep your old license together with it. And since
Right,
I'm
yeah.
in the position of where I have to retake the tests when I go back, written and driving, but we just have one driving test, I'm kind of wishing that I'd taken advantage of that.
Me
Oh.
too.
But-
me too. And if Louisiana and Alabama have it, then obviously everyone else has it.
Yeah,
But-
because
but-
we're like
but-
the most lackadaisical about driving. What? You can turn it on? Good.
Or just as far as having high-tech solutions, we're pretty slow on the uptake on that one.
Yeah, no doubt.
So if you can get your license renewed on the internet in Alabama, you can get it done anywhere.
But for Canadians, the danger is because of the way our tax system's structured. Even if you are living in another country, earning income there, they call it significant ties. So if you're renewing your driver's license, then we'll say, no, you're still Canadian, you're still subject to tax. Whatever you're earning in Korea, we want a part of that. So that's one of the things. Yeah. So that's one of the the triggers. So if if you're renewing your driver's license while you're out of the country, then the government might be able to come back to you and say, no, you're called a deemed resident. You're not resident, but you have significant ties, so you're still subject to glorious Canadian tax. So that's one of the dangers of actually renewing your license. But my workaround, here's my workaround. When you go to Korea, exchange your Canadian driver's license for a Korean driver's license. You can do that. I think there's no problem.
But you can't take a Korean license to the U.S. They don't want to see a Korean license.
But you trade it back before you get on the plane back.
Yeah.
And they'll trade it back.
In Canada, you can. Remember, I'm just talking specifically Ontario people here. All right, that's my advice. This is for just Ontario people, right? So
Okay.
So if then you go back to Ontario with your Korean driver's license, they will exchange it, and you don't have to take any tests or anything. So, but your Korean driver's license, you have to have had it for at least 2 years for them to exchange it. So that's something definitely to consider. If you're thinking maybe I'm going to be in Korea for maybe 4 or 5 years, and your license is going to expire and maybe be out, expired for a couple years, then look at switching over your driver's license so you can sort of ease back in.
I would say that most people aren't looking to be here for 4 years. They just end up being here for 4 years.
No doubt.
I thought maybe I'd be there for 2 years, but then 2 became 3, then became 4, and yeah.
So how's I assume you still have snow.
Well, he said he did.
Yeah, we still have snow ground. Well, the weather office is saying, guys, it's still March. Don't get excited because in 70 years, there's only been 2 Aprils without snow in this part of the world. Yeah. So
see, whenever I think Canada is wonderful and like our northern wonderful little brothers,
egalitarian,
that wonderful northern state of ours, then you say things like snow in April. And
that's part of that northern part of the.
Why can't Canada be where Mexico is? Then it would be the perfect country.
I know.
I don't know. Lots of people go into Mexico too.
Yeah, but they don't speak English there.
It depends on where you go.
Yeah, well, like I've been to a border town and it's great English there. None on the American side of the border, but the Mexican side had perfect English.
Wow. But the driver's license, I passed my written test. That cost $150, and then that also includes your first road test, which
$150 to take a driver's license test.
Yep.
Shoot.
Yeah.
Oh
and then,
my god! I think it was like 20 last time because I tried to renew my.
Still, Alabama's 30 right now.
Well, Canada.
They have no poor people in Canada.
No, I guess not. So yeah, 150, and then and that includes only your first driving test. Your second one to get your full complete, that's another 75. So
what does it mean? That you can drive a pickup truck? I mean, a Mack truck or something?
I was looking at that. I'm trying to figure that out. Now, if you're a teenager, it's more restrictive. If you pass your first road test, then you can drive alone. But if you're a teenager, you can't drive after midnight. All right, between midnight and 5 a.m. But if you're an adult, you can. Yeah, an adult you can drive. The only restrictions for an adult on the first level of driving license is you can have 0 blood alcohol, and you can only carry as many passengers as there are seat belts. So
Isn't that always the law about the seatbelt?
Well, yeah. The second part, I'm like, okay, no problem. And I'm not a big drinker, right? So I don't have a problem with even the first restriction. So I'm like, why did I pay $75 now for the second drive?
So you're allowed to drink and drive? Is this
Right,
drinking and driving?
Drive and have 20 people in your Volkswagen Bug.
Exactly. Apparently, you're the second level test is like, hey, go wild. Welcome again.
It's for alcoholic clown car drivers.
Exactly. You can get exactly. You can get a job as an alcoholic clown car driver. Very good.
So you're going to go for your alcoholic clown car driver's license?
Yeah. So, my next stage is my April 10th is my second driver license thingy, and my next stage is I gotta get my car back on the road. So, but before I can get my car back on the road, I've got to get an emissions test. But before I get an emissions test, first I got to get a temporary license, temporary plate. So I can drive at emissions plates. And then when I pass the emissions plates, then I can go bring it back to the license office and get the real plate, which is going to be about another $150. So the emissions test is probably going to be $35. The temporary thing's going to be $15. Then, my car's been sitting in my sister's backyard for 4 years. So I'm sort of crunching the numbers. And
so it's going to be like $500 just for licenses before you even take your car to the shop and get it road ready.
I'm thinking from written test to I can drive my own car. I'm budgeting about $1,500.
Wow,
you could buy yourself a good clunker for that.
Yeah,
but it's still a driver's license.
I actually did.
Yeah. This is all the paper. I really need all the paper. Yeah. And then there was that parking ticket in 1999 that I never paid. I'm just now wondering if that's still on the books after 9 years. I don't know. If that is, then what's a $30?
They're gonna be like calling the guy with the bench warrant. Like, he's here.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if they issue bench warrants for parking tickets. They definitely issue them for moving violations. I had a friend who was arrested for that.
That'd be so embarrassing. You had a speeding ticket.
Yeah,
I don't being arrested.
My friend had to go down and bail him out of jail, and the cop says to my friend Dave, who got arrested, he has an earring, his ear, and the cop says, and I'm gonna swear here, so bleep this out as much as you want.
No, we're on explicit. You can cuss.
All right, cool. All right. So the cop says to my friend Dave, why are you wearing an earring? Are you a fag? And then my friend Dave looks at the cop and says, well, why are you wearing, a cop badge? Are you an asshole?
Oh!
And I still got out of there. I don't know. Well, I already called him a fag. You can call me an asshole back or something.
Wow.
But, yeah. I do have some English T-shirt fine stuff that I'll mail you. I think this interview is going a bit long, but yeah. Right. So my dying days, I did manage to score a few more English T-shirt finds, and then I even found a couple in Windsor. I mean, not Korean, but the one I sort of laughed at was a closed restaurant, out of business, and it was called North of the Border. But the interesting thing about Windsor is it ducks down under Michigan, so Windsor's actually south of the border. So I'm like, well, that's why it went out of business. He couldn't give people the proper directions. So, yeah, but my hometown.
That's a Windsor joke.
Yeah. It's just this place is dying. I was downtown at 8:30 in the morning, which most downtowns that would be a proper rush hour, and there was no cars on the street. I took a picture.
Oh, that's not a good sign.
It was just nothing. Oh, it's really depressing.
What else did you find?
Oh, I think that was pretty much. That's the only one I can remember. My English.
I saw what was so funny driving through Atlanta. A Japanese restaurant was opening up, and it had a big sign. I knew it was an authentic Japanese restaurant because it said "Grand Open."
Awesome. In America, they could not find a sign printer that would correct them.
Yes, that was great.
Oh, there's a sushi place in downtown Windsor. You know the California sushi restaurant in Seoul?
Yeah.
All right. So I walked by this place and it was like roll sushi California. The words were all jumbled up. And something about the way that the bad English and the California, I'm like, I bet this is Korean owned, this Japanese sushi place. And then a few days later, someone did a review of it in the newspaper, and sure enough, they're owned by 2 Koreans. Like, aha! I knew it.
Yeah, you can catch that far away.
Yeah.
One totally American one I thought was funny. Now this wasn't. It was just a play on words. There's a barbecue seasoning called butt rub. I love that. I took a picture of that. I'll post that. This is weird. This is actually a how would you say it? Kojonese thing I found is like when I was at the Oxygen Bar, I noticed they misspelled cinnamon in Hangul.
Oh,
really?
You know you're a Korean nerd when you're able to pick out misspellings in Hangul.
Okay.
They spelled it.
Spellings of English in Hangul.
They spelled it Shinamong.
Oh, you know, Korean does that sometimes with the final N with foreign. They'll just turn it into new.
I've seen them do that though. I've seen them spell cinnamon as cinnamon.
Yeah.
That is cinnamon. I don't know. I was going to correct her on that. Well, that's all I saw.
Did you see the thing in the paper today? The woman who writes the TV reviews talking about there's apparently the new phrase, the new Konglish is to say some fashion is chic, but obviously they wrote it in Hangul, and so they like overcompensated, like taking out the H when putting it back into English. Sick styles, yeah.
Sick style.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because chic would just be like food.
Yeah. That there was a group I tried to put together called the Chic Ruffians, and we were supposed to be a food group. Yeah, and it's based on the Korean word like chic, which also meant chic, and also the types of stuff we'd be going out with, maybe like live octopus. It was also sick. So I thought that was a good word for that. The group never flew though. No one really has my taste in weird foods, but it's always interesting to write about.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, I noticed that someone apparently has a warrant out for your death or something, because you said that her cheesy rice cake bread is what the banality of evil tastes like.
Oh, the feud.
So please do describe to us in flavorsome words, what does cheesy rice cake bread taste like? Because honestly, I can't even imagine such an entity.
Oh, this is really amusing. It was put together by the Joshing Gnome. He put up the like this was this big feud between us K bloggers and the Ajuma bloggers. So yeah, I was looking at it now. It's like, yeah, he said about me. After some retaliation from the Ajuma community, the brouhaha quieted down, but was reignited when Joe from Zen Kimchi followed a recipe for cheesy rice cake bread posted on Shriya's wife log, and described the result as, quote, what the banality of evil tastes like.
So did he just make that up, or?
Oh yeah, this is all made up.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I went to Shriya's wife log. She's pretty hot.
And I do have to ask that at the end of that was somebody had a rant, which I don't know if it was like the Joshing Gnome himself, or I don't know what it was, but I couldn't be bothered to read it because it was way too long. But I did copy it and paste it into a Word document just to see how long it was. 23 pages. 23 pages in 12-point font.
I would not be surprised if it was the Metropolitan.
Oh my god, that was the freaking longest thing, and it was just this huge rant that was on every single tangent you can ever imagine.
Oh my goodness, I'm looking at it now. Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
I don't know who it is. But I mean, it was pretty spot on when he was saying that they were calling the metropolitan pedantic and stating that Brian and Jolanando overcharges for privates. And saying that the second Young Pa is better than the original Young Pa.
No,
That's
it
such an
was.
insight.
It is the second Young Pa is better.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, the second Young Pa. Young Pa is the sort of the
Korean onion.
So, yeah, the Korean onion, Young Pa, which is like the onion, Korean for onion. But someone, some whitey put up a blog sort of mimicking the onion, and
Because
yeah. The first one I didn't find funny, but the second guy who took it over,
no one found that one really that funny.
oh, he was really good with graphics too, and
because he had the concentration camp museum.
yeah.
The Holocaust Museum. The Holocaust Museum with the Domi girls dancing in front.
That is awesome.
No, that was very clever. Yeah.
What was one we had something about like Korean voted blackest guy in Asia or something like that. I don't know. Some Korean rap star, and that was kind of oh man.
They were very on target with stuff.
Yeah, and he doesn't pull his punches. He's out to offend. I mean, not out to offend, but it's like if you're offended, then just go take.
Too bad. You don't have a sense of humor.
Exactly.
Okay.
Can you tell us what your current plans are then? Now that you're back in the Great White North?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm still talking about a couple jobs, but I don't know.
Korea?
No, not Korea. No, one's a tech writing job, but down in North Carolina. But I can work there under the TN visa, Treaty NAFTA visa, as a tech writing professional. But I don't want to have to move again.
Is it in Charlotte?
Whatever the Research Park Triangle area is.
Yeah, Charlotte, Ashford.
Greensboro. Yeah. I just hear Charlotte's really good now these days. I hear it's this really awesome town, really exciting, lots of stuff going on.
The other job, the one I was kind of talking about, I kind of got to demonstrate that I can work with scripting languages. So I'll worry about that when I get up to Toronto, because it's really hard to sort of negotiate these things with people when I'm here in Podunk, Canada, and can't go to offices and talk things over. But yeah, so my plan is to get up to Toronto. Well, once I get all my car crap on the road, then get up to Canada, or get up to Toronto, and find an apartment in April. So then probably look at a May 1st move-in. So, ça c'est my plan. That's French. Ça c'est.
Oh, ça c'est. Well, Karl, it was great to hear your voice again.
Yeah. Hit me up next week, and if you want me on next week, or if you maybe have a guest on next week, but let me know.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I try to stay informed here, about Korean issues, and also too, Korean news that makes it here, that actually makes the news here. That's always something.
Gotta be something serious.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, another bridge is fallen down,
Yeah,
exactly. Korea. That's that country where they have the riots and buildings fall down all the time, right? And their airliners occasionally crash. Well, yeah, sort of. Yeah, that's pretty much what people understand Korea as.
Speaking of which, there were two things in the news today. One is soju is considered a necessity. They have like 52 benchmark items that they're watching the prices of.
Of course. Right. Yes.
And now 1 month into the presidential term, the English plans have been scrapped.
Oh yeah, scrapped. The total immersion speaking, teaching science in English thing has been scrapped.
Yeah, it was like there was some other big plan before about how they're going to use like television and the internet and make all the high school students use that instead of paying for Hagwons, and the Hagwons are all worried, the business we're going to lose, and it's like, no way.
Yeah, sure.
Because it's it's at the end of the day, it's like Korean bureaucrats are trying to implement this, which means it's gonna suck. And all right, guys, well. I gotta run.
All right.
Okay.
Talk to you soon.
I'm still in my I'm still in my jammies.
All right.
But I have showered, so I'm not sitting here stinking.
I love that. You showered and put other jammies on. That's cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's really good for us.
All right. Bye, guys, and talk to you
later. Bye.
And, hope to talk to the teaching public later, too.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye.
And now the news and whatever is distracting us from our jobs.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I saw you post on your website. You're one of the many bloggers that posted on Kickin' and Kumchan.
That is the funniest thing. Like, every single thing in Korea that I laugh about, they put into a song.
Yes.
And my absolute favorite part is that they're singing and dancing in public, because I really, really sincerely love it when when foreigners are like, Koreans think I'm crazy, so I'm just going to prove them right.
Yeah.
I'm going to sing and dance in public.
That's exactly right. And I love the ajima, using the ajima
visors. That is...
as a hip-hop wear.
Yeah.
I never thought of it as hip-hop wear, and it really works.
The ajima visors, booty dancing with the butt mannequins.
Oh my god, yes! That was too good.
Street drinking.
Street drinking, Kessu, drinking Haitu.
Yeah, the Tom Cruise wannabes. Like, do they?
Oh, yeah.
I think they must have hagwons where they go and learn how to throw the bottles in the air, because that's standard in a lot of places.
I did go to bartending school in America, which is sort of like a hagwon, but they didn't do the throwing drinks thing there.
No, I think they've just straight up got like drink throwing classes here, because it doesn't have anything to do with like making a drinkable beverage. They just throw the bottles around.
I still like going to those places. I'm still a sucker for that stuff. I just love kitschy, cheesy stuff. And
I used to love it in Cheonju because they were like the clumsiest people ever.
Yeah,
how many bottles are they going to fit?
I thought they'd always do that. And we always had this one guy who just loved playing with fire. Now, thank goodness he never dropped his little... Because he had this one, like, Darth Maul double-sided fire stick he'd start twirling around. And then he'd jump off the bar like a skater with his fire. Oh my goodness!
Oh my God,
yeah, that was great.
They would set up a martini glass pyramid and then light them on fire. But that was the end of their show.
Did you drink that? Did they have people drink them?
No.
No.
It was really the lamest like cocktail show ever. Couple of drop bottles, some missed, almost tossed it and caught it, Some tried to do it behind the back, but can't quite manage to be that flexible. And then they'd set up the pyramid and pour it all down, and you're like, oh, it's come to an end. And then, everybody else would go back to their business.
Yeah, lots has happened since the last podcast of Soul Survivors.
I know.
We already talked about Namdae Moon, and then lots of bad things. Man, March and February were just really bad months.
Yeah, Namdae Moon is so upsetting to me, and I really hope that guy gets like flogged in public or something.
3 years. I hope he gets 3 years this time. 3 years of probation this time.
Instead of, are you sorry? Okay, then please don't do it again.
It's okay. He was old and he was drunk.
Yeah, and he's a Korean man. So, he can't be held responsible for his actions.
Because legally, being drunk is an excuse.
Jesus. It wasn't rape. I was drunk.
Yeah, well, you've heard that, right? About the soldiers?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, well, I mean, these 2 American soldiers were on trial against an undercover cop. They said that they tried to rape her in the bathroom. Now, they said that the judge said that they were let free because there was not really good evidence that they were attempting to rape her. But he couldn't leave it at that. He had to say, on top of that, they were drunk. And they can't be blamed for something they did when they were drunk.
Well, fortunately, the military uses UCMJ, like Korean government or Korean justice system doesn't have jurisdiction over them, so they'll get in trouble.
Yeah, but I just don't think it was really that they were American military. It's just that the judge actually used that they were drunk.
Oh, they're drunk. Boys will
one of the
boys.
legal reasons why.
But
nah, that was attempted rape.
In the paper today, there was an article. A man was drunk, and he still got in trouble. He was having a subordinate trying to get her to do love shot, which is like an actual physical contact, like wrapped around each other, Boilermaker. And she refused, and then he tried it on another girl, and he was like forcing them to do it.
As he says, he's like friends with their boss, and they would get fired.
And so that's considered assault. Because he was like somehow in some position of authority over them, or he was trying to exert authority over them and making them do it. So he got a suspended jail term and 80 hours of community service, and then a 3 million won fine.
That's really a slap on the wrist.
It's a slap on the wrist, but in Korea, for him being the big, important man and them being young women, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Now, but that's illegal, but we also have the important decision that taking pictures of women's legs and miniskirts is legal.
But
you've heard about that?
Yeah, but I think as long as you're not like sticking the camera up somebody's dress, like upskirting obviously is a crime. But I think like taking a picture of where the person cannot be identified, like what?
Yeah, but the Supreme Court has officially said that taking pictures of legs of a woman in a miniskirt does not constitute sexual harassment. So that's good news for Feet Man Soul. It's really good news. So for the record, taking pictures of women's legs, yes. Body shots, if they say no, then it's no. So
unless you're drunk and then try and force yourself on them because you'll get away with it.
Yeah, drunk. Yes, yeah. And if it's an undercover cop in a men's room and you're drunk, yeah.
Yeah, but I will say the man who was convicted was not named in the article.
Oh, he was not named.
Which I think is pretty crappy because I think the shaming would be like the real way to do the damage. I mean, one, that's like nothing.
But I'm sure with the libel laws, they're still a little nervous about names. I mean, even I don't get that. Even when it's the public record, you can't even use someone's name. Then it's not the public record.
Yeah, right.
Then what you have is just very little that different than a tribunal, some private tribunal. I don't get that. But the other bad things, everyone knows about, and that's Bill Capone.
Yeah, he passed away.
Yeah, that was very sad. People gave a lot of money to him and his family.
Yeah, which was good because transporting a body, obviously it would have been better if it went to his medical care, but transporting a body is really expensive. And since he was a young guy, I'm sure he didn't have life insurance if he didn't even have health insurance.
Yeah. I don't have life insurance, so I shouldn't say that. There we go.
Yeah, I had it when I was in the Army, but only because I was required to. So.
Yeah, really. Well, you're in the Army. You're in a high risk situation. Well, like teaching in Korea isn't.
Yeah, but it was also.
I'm trying to think about how many English teachers have died in Korea recently compared to soldiers who have died in Korea. Which one is the highest?
A month, so it wasn't a big deal. So.
Yeah. So I donated some. Whatever I could at the time.
We're doing a thing at the conference, collection box to forward to his family.
That woke up a lot of people about having their medical insurance, and that really freaked me out because that really could just happen to anyone.
Yeah, and our apartments in general in Korea are complete death traps. My last apartment, which this apartment that I'm currently in has no means of escape within.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
My previous one had a window that was almost a foot wide, that was about 4 feet up off the ground, and I was supposed to, in the moment of a fire, tie a rope with some kind of knot that I'm sure, I could just figure out in the spur of the moment that would, hold me, shimmy through the window that I managed to get up, 4 feet off the ground to get through, and then rappel my way down the building. That was the fire escape. But this one,
at least that's more than we have. Yeah, we're on the 16th floor, and we just have one door out. We have 2 doors, but one is a little shorter drop than the other.
That'd be the way to go then. So you don't have a descending lifeline at your apartment.
And descending, that always sounds like something you're looking for when you're palm reading.
I know. Seriously, I thought that's what it meant when I first came to Korea.
Yeah.
I was like, what the crap is that? Is that some kind of fortune telling? And then I finally clued in that those signs were always where the rope was.
Yeah, the descending lifeline.
Quick like that.
I got my rising heart line and my descending lifeline.
Descending lifeline, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah. Of course, you've been looking at stuff Asian people like.
That is a really that's kind of a time vampire in the way that YouTube is, because it's really funny stuff. And living in Korea, but you can totally see the American counterparts, because it's all mostly about Asian Americans. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh yeah, they go back, they move to the States and they do the same stuff.
Yeah, and that was based on the stuff white people like, which all the K-bloggers were putting that on everywhere. That was getting on. Everyone was putting that up. And I was looking at that and I was like going, well, really? Is that real? That's kind of I think that's kind of stuff people like. I think pretty sure that, I think one of them was T-shirts. White people like T-shirts.
Oh.
Really? Oh, and other people don't like T-shirts. So I think they were kind of reaching on stuff.
Yeah, well, some of the ones on the things Asian people like are also, and some of them are just such ridiculous stereotypes. There's one of them that, actually there's 2 or 3 that make a big point of look around for a fat Asian because you'll never see one. And I was like, really? Where do you live?
Yeah, well, yeah, okay. Where is sumo wrestling? Okay.
Right. And it was all about how eating white rice is more healthy than eating brown rice, and I don't know. I was just like, well, whatever.
Yeah.
All those vitamins that have been stripped just lead the way for you to have greater nutritional value.
Yeah. But that whole the stuff the stuff white people like. I could tell you one thing that white people like is self-deprecating humor.
Yeah.
That's basically the theme of that whole site.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, so Fashion Week is going on this week. So next week we're planning to have Regina, expat Jane, from both Where the Hell Am I and a correspondent for Feet Man Soul, and she's doing Fashion Week all this time. So next week, hopefully, she'll be able to tell us some stuff.
Yeah, I was supposed to go on Saturday, but my friend didn't want to go, and the whole reason I wanted to go is because I had VIP seats, and how fashionably I normally dress. I thought it'd be really funny for me to be at Fashion Week looking like a total slob,
Mm.
But
and then you start something new.
Yeah, she didn't want to go, so I gave my tickets to my coworker who used to be a model, so I thought she'd fit right in. And she and her
that's good.
She and her sister went, and they dressed all up and took a lot of pictures, looking very fashionable at Fashion Week.
So that's basically what we're going to have we have planned so far for next week. And if anyone wants to, please leave us messages. I'm going to set up something on Skype so you can leave us voice messages, and I'm trying to set something up on the website, but please email us at, good. We have a good email address to just email us straight to the podcast. It's Sejong at Sejong SEJONG at SeoulPodcast.com. If you don't know how to spell SeoulPodcast.com, how did you find us in the first place? Anyway, so we got that coming up. Hopefully, we're going to have some more stuff. If you want to contribute to the podcast, we're always open up for more suggestions because we have lots of stuff we have down the line. Right now, I know I'm busy. I know Jennifer's really busy.
Oh my God, I'm dying.
Yeah, I'm kind of. You have your 10 hours of teaching, and I'm kind of backed up on my articles I'm writing.
But I'm taking a call class, computer assisted language learning, and because it's online, the guy is absolutely insane. Like, all of the work that you would do in class, we're having to do like asynchronously. So I'm seriously getting anywhere from 50 to 100 emails a day from classmates. Oh. It's so crazy, and that's part of our grade. So it's not like I can just ignore them. And some of these crazy people are like, check out these articles. And I'm like, dude, I already have journal articles to read for the class. I don't have like free time to go read like 300 more pages so I can respond to your email. So
note to everyone, don't try that. That's not bad.
Note to everyone, if you're in a class with me, be lazy and then we all look good.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So that's all we have for this week. Yeah. And
let me just give a little plug.
Plug. Oh, sorry, plugs.
The Cotisal Seoul Chapter Conference is being held this Saturday, the 29th. So hopefully this will be put up by then. Registration begins at 11:30 a.m. The workshops are from 1 to 6 p.m. with a raffle afterwards. It will be 5,000 won for Cotisal members and undergraduates with valid IDs, or 10,000 won for non-members. That does not include a meal. Please be aware. It does include snacks if you want them. And it will be at Seoul University, which is on the Olive Line at the Seoul University stop. And it's in the Venture building on the 3rd floor. Or you can go to cotisal.org and find a map and all kinds of stuff.
So that'll be Saturday the 29th.
Yes. And the...
anything happening after that?
After 6?
After the 29th?
Oh, well, next month we'll have another workshop.
I'll make sure I'll get this out before the 29th.
So this year's thing is Teachers Helping Teachers, and Mario Renvalukri is the featured speaker. He'll be not only giving the plenary, he's also giving 3 workshops, and if you don't know who he is, then you're just an amazing loser, because I'm
an amazing loser!
No, he's written a ton of books on activities, and he's going to be giving workshops on how to humanize your course book, how to make dictation more useful, and storytelling. And the plenary is going to be the filters that protect teachers from trying new exercises. And there's also going to be 3 research-oriented workshops and some others like drama and various other things. So we've got 11 workshops altogether. 3 run concurrently for 3 different hours, and then the plenary will be all on its own.
You are so into it. You are so organized. You're amazing. How do you get time to do all this stuff? Oh, well, that's Saturday. Well, that's how you get in time, is you're working 10
hours tomorrow, yeah.
10 hours the classes tomorrow.
Yes. So I have no life at the moment, basically.
Oh, goodness. And also you can check my stuff out at zenkimchi.com or zenkimchi.com/food journal, even though I haven't written much into food journal lately. And my articles also appear regularly in the Korea Herald and Seoul magazine. That's all I'm plugging right now.
Okay.
So until the next week, see ya.
Bye-bye.
The Seoul Podcast is a production of Seoul Podcast Productions, copyright 2008, under the Creative Commons license. Parts of this podcast may be used for non-commercial purposes if you remember to give us credit. See you next week. Until then, keep your head up and watch for speeding scooters on the sidewalk.